Hi, hi. Sorry for the small issue. Uh, Hi, this is Abhinav Kulecha, and today is Buddha Purnima. A very, very happy Buddha Purnima to all of you. Um, um, may Buddha's blessings be with you, and may mindfulness be with you, right? It's a special day, and just thought to share some reflections on this day. Um, some of my learnings and reflections. Uh, in the course of my life journey, I have come across the Buddha's path and the Buddha's teachings, and just thought to share some of my reflections. I've just made some pointers, so I just take them one by one. Uh, it is said that the Buddha is not a person, right? Buddha is Thai. The Buddhist master, Buddhist monk Thai said that Buddha was not God. Buddha never said that he was God. Buddha was said that he is a normal person, like you and I are there. Buddha is a normal person, and Buddha is a person who is who is suffering, right? And then he went on the quest with that just one question, that I want to get freedom from suffering. I want to uh, find that technique or that way which can free me from suffering. So, and then he went on that way to get free from suffering, and he took 6 years. He consulted various masters. Everyone advised him to do this and do that, and then he was not satisfied, and they could not guide him properly, and ultimately then Buddha went on his own. He sat under the bodhi tree, and he said that I will find the answer. If I'm alive or not, that doesn't matter, but I will find my answer. And then he got the realization. Uh, so basically the biggest thing that actually inspires me is, basically I see Buddha as a role model, right? As not someone who is like someone who is at such level who is not attainable. I always like what I think of, and is that Buddha is someone where we all can aspire to be, right? We all can aspire to be Buddha, right? And it is not so an unattainable or an impossible task. We all have all the resources to be a Buddha. Like Thai says that Thai is, again, I'm just clarifying, he's the fond name of Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monk. He says that Buddha is not a person. Buddha is that quality of awakening. Buddha is that quality in us. Buddha is awareness, right? Buddha is generally, what we are doing is that we are forgetful, we are lost, we are in that grip of forgetfulness, right? The all the negative self-talk that goes on, keeps on, we are just in our mind. So Buddha is that ability. Buddha is not a person. Buddha is that ability of coming out of that grip of that negative self-talk, that grip of this chatter that is going on in our mind. And when in this time, even for that one single moment, that I actually am able to free myself out of this chatter, I become the Buddha, right? I am the Buddha, right? So this is what our aim should be, right? And when we wake up, so what I do is that when I wake up, I take a conscious intention that I should be able to, throughout the day, I should be able to practice mindfulness, right? Be more and more mindful, not get lost. There are so yeah, there, I also get reminded of, there was a the in the Plum Village there was a recent talk, um, not recent talk, earlier talk, that they monks in the Plum Village community, they say that it is not that we don't also get lost, right? So we also have to always remind ourselves that to come back in the present moment, right? So essentially the idea I was getting is that no matter if you are in a household life, or no matter you are in a monk life, or no matter you are in a kind of a forest, or you are in a very secluded life, you cannot get out of this mind, right? This mind has a very, very firm control on us. So wherever we are, right, stop questioning that I should be here or I should be somewhere else. And this is again our mind says that because I am here, I cannot practice mindfulness, or I'm like this, I'm bad. And hello Sanjay Sahai, hello Sandhya ji, namaste. Thank you for joining. Right. So what important thing is that stop blaming ourselves, stop kind of creating excuses. In this, wherever we are, we have to practice our mindfulness, be more and more aware of whatever we are doing, right? um, so Buddha is basically a normal human being, but who is fully awakened, a fully awakened one. So Thai says we all have seeds of Buddhahood in us. So the whole concept is that we have the seeds in our store consciousness. The seeds are there. Now the seeds are of love, the seeds are of hatred, the seeds are of anxiety, the seeds are of mindfulness. So Buddhahood as a seed is there in all of us, right? So even the worst kind of a criminal also has the seeds of Buddhahood, right? That is why our we have to change our thinking, right? So only that he has not watered that seeds, the seeds of hate or anger or revenge was so strong, he let it water it so strongly, right? That uh, the actions flow from what the seeds we water in our subconscious mind. So realizing that I have seeds of Buddhahood in myself and you have seeds of Buddhahood in yourself. Now, we may certainly behave in certain ways. See, we all have dark sides. We all have those seeds of anxiety or fear or anger which come up from time to time. And then we blame up ourselves, right? The task is even difficult for kind of a spiritual teacher like me or many other people, right, who are like spiritual kind of coaches. For them it is even more difficult because then they say that, oh, I practice this, I teach this, and I myself am getting angry. But that is where that is where we need to realize that the seed of Buddhahood is there in me. Yes, maybe that I could not water it, it was not very strong in me. So it is commitment, it is a renewed commitment. So this Buddha Purnima, basically it is a renewed commitment we should take to bring more mindfulness in our lives, right? So Buddha is in us. So Buddha is not someone who is outside of us. Buddha is in us, and all the qualities of Buddha are there in us. So we have to have that kind of a commitment, right? And then Thai says very important, very good thing is that Buddha is the fully awakened one, that who is through his practice, he has got that ability to be in presence at all times. Now we don't have that ability, but we can all try to be a part-time Buddha, right? Now think of this concept, part-time Buddha. We all can be part-time Buddhas, right? Even for a few seconds in the day, right? Few seconds you can bring mindfulness in you, right? Like if I'm drinking this glass of water, right? No, I'm drinking, so I always take this example of drinking a glass of water because it also helps me to keep hydrated. It's also very hot now, we are in May. Just an example I'm giving, that even a few steps you take with presence, with mindfulness, not lost in the chatter, or even a few morsels of food that you eat without being fully present, being with that food, right? Right, or a few breaths, you are a Buddha at that time. Okay, part-time Buddha, but so we all have to bring those small moments of awareness. The more we bring those awareness moments of awareness, The more we come in the present moment, we are actually training our mind, we are training ourselves to be in present. And the more we are in awareness, the more we will start finding happiness in this very moment, because the happiness is nowhere outside. The mind tries to push us that you can get happiness or by reliving the past memories or by looking forward to the future. But you know and I know, right? You know and I know that it is not there, it is not there, right? Maybe 10, 20 years back, I remember when I was doing my CA, right? It is such a difficult qualification, and I thought that, when I become CA, life will be sorted, right? And ask any CA what happens after clearing CA, what happens, right? There are different challenges. There are I still remember some write-up where that person explained his entire journey of becoming a CA, and then he said, after becoming a CA, don't ask me, it's a different story, right? So uh, we always keep thinking about future will bring us happiness, but the future will not bring us happiness. Happiness we have to create for ourselves, and actually we don't have to create, we just have to be in that present moment, start living more and more in the present moment, and we will start finding opportunities of peace in this moment. This is my personal experience. जो कहते हैं ना, एक आई जस्ट यूज इन हिंदी, छाती ठोक के मैं बोल सकता हूँ ये चीज, बिकॉज आई हैव पर्सनली एक्सपीरियंस्ड इट. I have been into this negative many years of my life. I've also shared. I have been in anxiety. I've suffered from anxiety. I've taken anxiety medicines also um, in my teen years and college years and everything. So have been there, done that, and that suffering actually took me into this. So more and more presence will help us uh, bring those opportunities of peace, right? Then one thing is that karma, right? In Hindi we call it karma. Karma has a big role to play, right? In the Buddha's teachings, karma has a big role. So in Buddha says that you can never be, you can never escape from the consequences of your actions, right? So just my reflection here is that this is so true, right? See, there's a lot of people say that you worship this god or that god, and that god will take care of you. And and then there are, I've even like some of the various kind of scriptures where it is mentioned that you just worship me and I will take care of all. See, the important thing to understand is that you worship any deity, right? They will give you support, you will get the support to handle. But karma, you have to face your karma, right? Some karma definitely by grace they can get reduced, the intensity can get reduced because you get that higher ability. But the cycle of karma, you need to balance your karma. In my work as a past life regression therapist and an akashic healer, the work that I do, I continuously find cases where people actually are just doing karma balancing, right? This problem that they're facing is just they're balancing their karmas. So something wrong you have done or I have done in this lifetime or past lifetime. See, everything is getting accounted for. Nothing can, you think and I think that if I do anything wrong and it will just go out of in out thin air, never. In the Akashic perspective, it is said that everything is getting recorded in a book, right? There are actually records which are maintained about the soul's journey, and the soul himself then takes new birth to resolve all the previous karmas. So Buddha's teaching, why I got attracted to Buddha's teachings was that in a very difficult phase of my life last year, when I came across a very difficult phase, I realized, hello Ashwarya ji, good afternoon, thank you for joining. In a very difficult phase last year, when I just discovered that I tried to find out the reason, because since I had this ability of doing my own readings from the with the grace of God, and so I actually could trace it back my lifetimes and see that some things I have done wrong, some big transgressions I did because of my greed. Hello Srishti ji, hello, thank you for joining. Because of my greed and my anger and my need to my unconscious desire to accumulate more and more things, and I'm paying back the same. And that is where I, and the same time it all happened that I got more and more into Buddha's teachings, and then I discovered that the Buddha's teachings, like 0.001%, I like started to follow Buddha's teachings. And I came across that Buddha, when he got enlightened, he got the four noble truths, and he got the noble eightfold path. So basically, the noble truth said that there is suffering, there is a cause for suffering. That means there is a causative event that goes back from where it comes, right? Whole issue of karma. Then there is a way out of suffering, and the way out of suffering is the noble eightfold path. And the noble eightfold path, if you actually study the noble eightfold path, that is basically doing the right thing, right? Doing the right thing. That means living the life in a right way. And that was like a bulb on moment for me. I realized that, no matter how much you worship any deity, what I have seen is, and why, sometimes I have, I was pulled back from all these rituals and all these things. From my childhood, I was like, had an aversion, because I saw that, people around me, uh, like some of my relatives, I saw they were too much into all these rituals, doing all the rituals, and the way they treated other people, and the way they treated people, janitorial people and all, that just shook me. That I said, yeah, how can it be that you can worship the divine at the same time, and you can treat the other people as like this? So the essential thing, what I was getting the realization is that important thing is to live a right life. Like my mother used to say in my childhood, that beta कर्म अच्छे रखना, right? कुछ भी करो लेकिन कर्म अच्छे रखो. And I used to say that, mommy, why are you saying? It's a very simple thing. And maybe after 20 30 years, I realized the same thing, that the most important thing is whatever you do in life, our karmas should be right, at least. So essential thing is, so I cannot change my past, right? Past no one can change, right? There are so many, like all these healers and all people who say that we will change your past and we will delete your certain akashic records and all. This is all fraud. Never, never go for that. No one can change your past. Because why past cannot be changed? Because the past was required for you to be where you are, right? Otherwise, if you delete anything from the past, you will not be standing here where you are. So past cannot be changed. Future I don't have with me right now. What I have with me is that in this moment, I don't even have a single day. I just have this moment. In this moment, I can do mindful breathing. In this moment, I can do mindful walking. In this moment, I can send love to others through my thoughts. Right? In this moment, I can do acts of kindness. What I do in this moment actually determines my future, right? So we create our future. See, all this is very cliched kind of stuff. So I don't know whether it is something new I'm sharing. I'm just sharing certain kind of my own learnings in this path. Is that I only have the control over this moment. I don't have control over anything else. So even facing suffering, right? See, whatever the karmic balancing is happening right now, I can face it with acceptance. It will, it will, the more I bring acceptance in me in this moment through mindfulness, the more the suffering will evaporate. The more I am able to do my meditation, the meditation is what? Out of the box question, Ashwarya, definitely you can ask, but just let me just finish. You can put it in the chat box and I will answer it at the end, right? Uh, okay. The more I do my meditation, what is meditation? Meditation is basically uh, deepest awareness, right? Awareness, or a kind of a booster dose of mindfulness. The more I do practice mindfulness, the more I do meditation, the more I'm clearing my karmas. So that is the way. Karmas you need to clear, and what you need to do, what I need to do, you need to do, is that we need to walk the right path. Like the Noble Eightfold Path says, right thinking, right intention, right action, right mindfulness, right speech, right right view. All these are parts of the novel. So this is how we need to live our life, right? To become free of suffering. And what the end result is, what the outcome is just to be free of suffering. That is the outcome. No, we don't want anything, we don't want swarg, or we don't want, because if you go in swarg also, you take your merits, you expend your merits, and then you come back on this earth plane, right? So we don't want this. We don't want the end to this whole cycle of suffering. right? So that is where what we need to do is that we need to follow the right way of living, and that is where Buddha's teachings come in question, right? uh, Okay, then okay. So, and to know more about Buddha's teaching, the book that helped me was, I just forgot that to keep this book with me. It is The Heart of Buddha's Teaching by Thich Nhat Hanh. That is a very good book, very concise, and I mean it's like a ready reference of Buddha's teachings. So that is a Heart of Buddha's Teaching by Thich Nhat Hanh, which is what I refer. I keep going back to it. Uh, 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 and it is really concise, crisp, and very good book. It's available on Amazon and all. So every time we become more aware, we start getting free from the grip of the mind. So the more you are troubled with your mind, the more there will be a push in you to get free of the mind. And always realize one thing, that no matter how much your mind is has taken control over you, your soul has a power, right? The soul has a big power. So we have to just use that power in our soul. uh, and there are certain simple hacks. Just practice mindful breathing, just practice mindful walking, right? Just simple changes. Just bring your attention to your belly, focus on the in and out movement whenever difficult feelings arise. Focus on so this I in this I will not be able to explain, because then it will be like a 1 hour thing. I always do this Friday 8 p.m. I do this master class. Friday 8 p.m. masterclass. The link is there in the description. You can register there. I talk about these things in a more detailed way, so you can join that, right? And important thing is, just as Thai says, every time you walk, just think that I have arrived, I am home. I have arrived, I am home. I have arrived, I am home in this moment, right? Just think like this. So just I thought to just share these points. I hope these were useful. And on this occasion of Buddha Purnima, I again wish you all a very happy Buddha Purnima. And just now, what we basically we have to do is that just reflect on how you and I can be a bit more, bring some more awareness to in our life. बहुत हो गया यार, बहुत हो गया इस फॉरगेटफुलनेस में और सफरिंग में जीते जीते। अब हमको कैसे हम ज़्यादा थोड़ी सी अपनी अवेयरनेस ज़्यादा अपने वर्क प्लेस पे, इन आवर लिसनिंग, इन आवर टॉकिंग, राइट, in our daily day-to-day tasks. It can be as simple as turning the switch on to off, or walking from one room to another room. Can you walk from one room, from your bedroom to your living room in mindfulness? If you can do that, then when difficult feelings arise in you, then you will be able to practice mindfulness in a much better way, right? So what we think is, our mind always makes us look into the larger things, larger challenges it wants, right? I want this challenge, and that is our ego. But actually the challenge is there in the smallest of things. If you can, like, drink a glass of water with mindfulness, then you will be able to do the bigger things with mindfulness. The more you will be mindful, the more you will see your focus improve, your productivity improve. So it's not all the karma and the suffering. No, in the daily day-to-day tasks also, the more you are mindful, the more actually your productivity also improves, your focus also improves in work, your peace level increases, right? So just think, reflect. This is the day, and this is just kind of my thoughts, my inputs. I hope this was useful. Now I will just, before closing, I will just take the question. Yes, Ashwarya ji, your question is, how much tarot readings are true? Should we do it? See, should we do it means, should we take the readings? It depends. If you resonate with something, go for it. Or if you resonate with this reader who is doing the readings, and see, always, your intuition is very strong, everyone's intuition. Just go with what your intuition is. And if you feel, see, I have come across people, earlier I was, yes, Shrishti ji, old path, white clouds, I was. Yes, absolutely. Yes, for first, Ashwarya, I will just say is that, if you resonate with someone, I was earlier, I mean, very kind of, against all these readings and all. But later on, my view actually changed. I have come across certain psychics, and the way I also do readings. It was also something which I was always no, 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 all these readings and all. So I do Akashic readings. So it was like no, no, no kind of thing. And then once I started doing it, I realized that, it is like some mind. But then see, the only thing is there are all the good people and the bad people. So always and always go with your intuition. Always, what I will suggest is all these tarot readers and all. First of all, two things I will only say. uh, Hello, Rashmi ji. Good evening to you. Two things I will always say. Any psychic or tarot readers and all. First thing is never let them create a belief system in you. Never ever, right? Actually the biggest mistake, why what people do is that, as an astrologer or a tarot reader, they create a kind of a belief system in you, right? So never ever let that person do that. You can change everything. Yes, you can get guidance basis the today's situation, but the future is totally fluid with what decisions you are making right now, right? And no one can predict that. No one can predict your future unless and until you are like totally dumb, right? Then it is very easy because you will follow that clear line. But no one can predict your future, and especially if awareness or mindfulness arises in you, then to no one can predict where you will go, right? Because then you can go in any tangent, right? You can go in any timeline, right? And one more thing is that, okay, let us continue with your thing. So first thing is that, don't kind of just go with what the other person says. Don't let it replace your common sense. Go. Second thing is that, see how you resonate with that person. Talk to that person. Maybe have a voice, face-to-face interaction, or a kind of or a Zoom call, and see what your subconscious mind is telling you about that person. If you resonate, if you see that authenticity in that person, then it makes sense. Because our subconscious is very very kind of very powerful. It will tell you what our conscious mind cannot. So go with what your intuition is saying. Should I go with this reading or no? And then proceed. I will not say just yes or no. Depends on how what you resonate and what's the other person, right? So that will be my answer to this situation. But my request is practice more and more meditation and mindfulness. No one can predict anything. All these tarot readings and all, uh, they are of a limited utility, but just don't blindly rely on them. I even when I do my readings, I also do tell people that just take whatever resonates with you, just take that. Right? Don't think it's coming from somewhere that it is. Because somewhere, if what happens is, if I do say something which changes your belief system, I also face a karmic this thing, a problem, right? Because then I have done something which has inserted a belief system in you. So even if you are a healer, or if you are a tarot reader or some reader, always just tell that this is not some cast in stone kind of thing. So maybe I have answered it in some way. Maybe it helps. Okay. Just Another question is Shrishti Singh. Yes, rest of the chapters of New Earth. Sorry, I apologize for that. I will do it in Hindi. I'm just not getting time for that. I will do it in Hindi, and I will also do it. Okay, in Hindi, so I will do it. Okay, I had to do it, but I'm sorry for that. I will do it. And Thich Nhat Hanh's book, Old Path, White Clouds, it's a beautiful book on Buddha's journey. I will do it. There are certain passages that I will take it, but the problem is that I have limitation with respect to time. Right? I don't have a staff, and me and my wife are only doing. Right? So we have our limitations. So as and when it is possible, then I will definitely try, but I cannot commit anything. Um Please do your own readings. Please do your own reading. That will what I will suggest. Don't wait for me, but I understand that I have this commitment of doing it, right? So I will do it. Hello, Rashmi ji. Hello, hello, Anuradha ji. Nice to see you. Okay, Ashwarya ji. Thank you so much. Hello, Pallav. Hello. How are you? Um Happy to see you. Okay, so it was like a long session, and thank you so much for everyone. And happy Buddha Purnima once again. May you have lots of awareness and awareness and compassion and everything. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care. Thank you.